Hello there and welcome back to Satisfactory. Yes, we're back on Satisfactory once again, going to be continuing a single-player playthrough on the 1.1 experimental branch. But first, it is Friday, so hopefully I'll have yourselves a great weekend this weekend, as well as I like to hopefully to see you back here on Monday as well. So, if you went to last time, we had gotten the train station operational, got it hooked up to the nitrogen gas as well, and delivering nitrogen gas to our fused modular frames via train, of course, because that is the rules. Yes, we had gotten all that done, got it all working as intended, so today's plan is just to finish off the nitrogen gas tower and then see if we can build some rail heading out to the grasslands. I don't know how far we'll get, but we'll see. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get on into it. Let's go. Alrighty then, and here we are over at our nitrogen gas tower as the sun sets for the dock. Yes, I'm pretty happy with this build, actually. This one, it was more of a relaxed build. I'm surprised it took us all week to do it, to be honest. But you know, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. To make it, you know, I didn't want to rush it too much. Rush it enough to get us to where we need to go, but that's about it. But yes, we have our nitrogen gas going on in here. Very nice. Very, very nice. And then, of course, it goes up to the train station as well. But yeah, like I said, we do need to finish up the nitrogen gas tower. We just got to do a few modifications just real quick before we leave here. But the train station is operational. We are making fused modular frames, so that is wonderful, wonderful. And we're filling this train station at 3,000 nitrogen gas per minute. So yeah, it fills fast. Fills very, very fast. So we have we're only using. I also did mark this on the map off camera. So we've got the nitrogen gas well. We're using 250 out of 3,000. That is quite the difference there. Also, we finally, the train that we put down that's going to our fused modular frames, that train is using our other route, which goes up by the SAM ore that's mining 1380. This is the nitrogen gas train. It comes across the bridge along this path and then goes up this way to then join in and go this way over to our area. You can see it there, which is very awesome. So we finally got a train using that route that we built. We spent so much time building that's the extremely steep hill. But yeah, and then of course I used my 10-car train to make the blocks, so we don't have to worry about anything past this intersection here. So we're good there, as well, which is a bit of it in us. Alrighty. So let's finish up the details to this, because obviously we got to wrap these lights around it. I still also do need to put down a tower. And we also got our internal electrical network inside this tower here as well, which is pretty nice. So yeah, just a few finishing touches to finish off the top of this tower, and then put the scanner radar down, or the radar tower down, and then put the lights on it. And then we can move on from there. So let's. I need a 4-meter wall here. So we're just going to basically copy what we've done underneath. So what we've done underneath is we've went 8 meter, 4 meter, 2 meter, 1, and then directly and then onto the tower. So yeah, which is very, very nice. I do like doing the pipe work this way, because it does, even though we can't see it, even though it's going to be completely enclosed, no one's ever going to see this, it still looks good. It's hard to not build something that looks at least somewhat decent, even though no one's going to see it. We're just going to cover it up. But yeah, we do need these walls in place before we can do the tower or the lights. So these are just pretty damn simple. Throw some walls on, finish it up. Just gotta go around. Round and round we go. Hopefully the foundations will snap nice and neatly. I don't think they will, but we're gonna give it a shot. So there we go. Foundation. I would really like some 2 meter and 1 meter foundations as well. That would be amazing. But nope. Okay, looks like they are gonna snap pretty nicely to our walls here. Not that it really matters, because you can't really see up here when you're looking at it from a distance. But I still like to finish it, so. Plus, we do got something going for this one outside of the dedicated server. This tower is taller than the dedicated server one, so that was kind of the point. I was just like, I really want to make this one taller, or at least stand out from the dedicated server. Because the dedicated server one's nice, but it's not. Well, you can't do flashy on the dedicated server because otherwise you make the game lag like hell. And I mean, you could do a little bit of flashy, but man, you got to be very, very careful with it. Oh, and the reason I'm putting foundations here is because the oops, missed one. Is because there's a gap. If you don't, there'll be a little air. There'll be a little light gap in there, and I don't like that. I don't like that gap. That gap is not a gap I like to see. I still got to put a a train station down, a bauxite train station to collect the bauxite from here, so we can increase aluminum production. Which the aluminum factory is going to get it's going to get its finishing touches somewhat, but mainly it's going to get an addition. Yeah, you can't exactly see the aluminum factory from here, but it's right between those trees. Left of that, it's up there. You can actually, if you squint, actually, I do this. Oh, there it is. There's the factory. You can kind of see the walls there, and then you can see the bauxite loop. Ugh, that's very weird to look at. Yeah, you can see the bauxite loop and everything. So, a bit of it in S. How are we going to get this last one? Oh, I know. Fat fingered the. There we go. Okay, and I'm just gonna. I should have zooped these. That's what I should have done. No, I should have zooped them. Damn it. That is annoying that I did not do that. I'm gonna have to, yeah, I'm gonna have to fix this so we can get this tower on, because yeah, we need to get moving here. There's the grasslands, by the way. You can see it from all the way over here. Bit of it nice. Yeah, we need to get moving on this. So let me get this tower. I'm just gonna completely finish the tower because there isn't a whole lot to do left. So yeah, let me finish the tower real quick, and then we'll move on with some rail. Alrighty then. So I've got the tower done. I took a little train ride. There we go. It goes all the way up. But yeah, I took a little... Look how much clearance it has. Just barely enough clearance. And then this clearance here. Is that a good clearance? Oh, yeah. You could just about fit a piece of paper in between there. Okay, perfect. But yeah, so I made some adjustments to the framed factories. So we're actually making quite a bit more. It's because I was able to summer sloop all these factories down here. Also, I need to turn that off. I mean, wait, before I do, no, it's not even here. It doesn't matter. Radio towers off. Goodbye. Okay. Perfect. So, but yeah, we got our factories down here. So I summer slooped the modular frames, which went from 100 to 200 per minute, and then I summer slooped the heavy modular frames, which went from 28 to 56 per minute, because 28 we're using over half already, and it's just like, yeah, we'll summer sloop it. Good. I was making sure the fuse modular frames were working. This went from 15 to 30, and this one went from 10 to 20. So very, very nice there. But yeah, the other thing I did about the fuse modular frames is I took I took and fully overclocked all the machines, so we're actually using a bit more, and I did accommodate for that. So rather than using, I can't remember how many, I think we were using 10 heavy modular frames. Now we're using 15 by fully overclocking everything. I know it doesn't make sense, but that's just I don't remember exactly how many we were using. But the recipe for fused frames, for the fused modular frame, this is the recipe here that we're using. If we fully overclock that, that is 375 per minute times 4, which equals 15. And then the 187 casings, this is the one I was worried about. For the most part, we went from needing like 500 per minute to 750. So yeah, I was wrong about the fused, or about the heavy modular frames needing, but yeah, then we went up to 93.75 per minute nitrogen gas, which increased from 250 to 375. So that didn't increase there, which increased the, like I said, increased it from 15 to from making 15 to 30. So yeah. So yeah, if you actually look at the fused frames, 250% per minute, 375. 3.75 times 2, that's 7.5. And 7.5 times 4 equals 30. So yep, we're making 30 now. 30 fused frames, which isn't bad. And we're using 10 of those. I did not increase the amount that we can make here, and this is because we need the fused frames for thermal propulsion rockets. So we're going to be leaving that factory alone, or this factory alone, only using the 10 out of the 30. And then maybe if we, maybe in the future, maybe we'll even them out more. But yeah, the thermal propulsion rockets, we're going to need them. So in order to complete Phase 4. So that just, the only thing left, I actually want to look at this real quick. I know it's Friday, so I'm kind of just meddling and, mumbling my way through. It's the end of the week. Assembly directory systems that need adaptive control units and supercomputers. Supercomputers, I think I'm going to use the standard recipe for, because everything else is ridiculous. Although the super state computer, I don't like the OC supercomputer where it's more radio control units, and because it makes 3 per minute, which is, yes, the supercomputer needs an assembler, but I like having the manufacturer for a thing like the supercomputer. The reason being, there's a few reasons, but one for space, but the other reason being that the supercomputer is actually what's being made in the manufacturer. If you watch the animation is actually the supercomputer being built. So that's the other reason I want to do that. So we would have a choice between supercomputer and super state computer, but the assembly directory systems used to be AI limiters. I remember AI limiters being the thing. Pretty sure. I don't remember too much. And then we don't know what it's used in, because that is in the next phase. That's in Phase 5. So the assembly directory systems, that one's a long way off. What about the what is it? I can't spell. No, that's the control rods. What's the other one? Oh, magnetic. That's what they're called. Okay. the magnetic field generators. Versatile framework we have, the magnetic control rods we do not have. So the magnetic control rods, we'd have a choice between stators and high-speed connectors or stators and AI limiters. I'd probably go with the normal recipe because we need those high-speed connectors for other things. So, I think. Maybe not. And then, of course, the this one, which needs... We have this one and we have this one, but cooling systems is going to be the next kind of factory that we go for, I think. Cooling systems, and what was the other one? Cooling systems and this heat sinks. Cooling systems and heat sinks. I'm not going to do the heat exchanger. I'm going to do, this is the reason I have the copper sheet factory, is I'm going to do the traditional heat sink, which is aluminum sheets and copper sheets. Aluminum sheets and copper sheets. The heat exchanger does make more, yes, but also I'm using most of my casings, and I do not want to use any more. So that's the whole reason I have those. I have the big aluminum factory for the sheets as well, and the big copper sheet factory is so that I can make those. So yeah, cooling systems and heat sinks is going to be the next two factories that we work on, and they're actually going to be over here. You see this really big space that we've got here? We're going to be pulling a train line through this really big space off down that hill, which we're going to be working on today as well. And either we use this really big space or we put it up on that cliff or whatever, but I do want a factory on either side of the train line, either there and there, or maybe further down. I want to go far enough to where the nitrogen gas is going to be trainable, because if I put the factory here, then I can just pull a pipe to it, and I don't want to do that, because that's the whole point of this game, or the whole point of this rule set is to use trains between factories. The fused frames are a very specific case, because I wanted to put all the frame factories in that biome, and I took up the entire biome to do it pretty much. So I'm pretty happy with that, and having the belt between them just saves from the one factory having to have 5 train stations. But mainly just because it was just for convenience. But like I said, that is a specialty use case, just like the belts between the wire and the cable factory, which those two factories are one factory. So the little specialty use cases, but I do want to separate these as well. So yeah, big old heatsink factory and a big old cooling system factory, and that is 2 more factories knocked off the list as well. So how do I want to do this? Because we need to start sloping down, but we got to be careful with this hill. This hillside, if you slope down too quickly, you run into the sand, and if you don't slope down quickly enough, you end up extremely high off the ground. So you got to put your slope in at a decent spot. We're just gonna go ahead and get rid of these trees in the middle here. But yeah, it might be another one of those specialty use cases where we take the heat sinks and put them directly across. I mean, what we could do is put the heat sinks up here, because they don't need nitrogen gas. We put the heat sinks up here, and then further down the hill we put the cooling systems. That could be a thing that we could do. Using snowballs. Okay. So, oops, sorry. Blew into the mic there. As I was doing that. Yeah, we're going to use our 2 meter incline, 1 meter incline. That's what I want. We're going to use our blueprint here. And we got to get this in just the right spot. Like I said, you got to You got to do this just right, this hillside here, because it is partially a 2 meter and partially a 1 meter slope. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go all the way down here because I know this is where this is going to go. Yeah, we're going to go all the way down here and try to get. Let me get my jetpack. Get my jetpack on. Alright. Doobly-doo. No, not a 2 meter. I want a 1 meter incline for a good chunk of this. The 1 meter incline we might have to put up a decent ways for it to work for this hillside. I definitely want it to go down this way. Yeah, just perfectly right between the cliffs. Like I said, we might have to go up much higher. We might have to curve this as well. It might be one of those cases where we have to we have to do a curve slope. Because I don't want to have a bunch of straight pieces in here, so. Put it in blueprint mode. And here I could already see it. It may or may not work. It's either that or we have that bridge come out further. Yeah, this is the perfect aim for where we're going, so. Might go up a bit higher, though. Yeah, something like that. And we'll see if we run into the hillside here. I love 1.1. Being able to nudge these blueprints around saves me so much freaking headache. I think we might have done it. I think we might have done it. Yeah, I think what I'll do is we'll put the cooling we're gonna put the factory over here up on this flat here for our heat sinks. Yeah, because it's a decent ways from the rest of everything else. So yeah, and so next week we'll work on those two factories, get them done, and then we can then move on into the grasslands for our electronic stuff. Because yeah, cooling system and heat sink factory, those are the two big ones that we're gonna need for both turbo motors and the thermal propulsion rocket stuff. So. Yeah, and then the electronics, and then after the electronic factories, I think we would be clear to move on to factories making the Phase 4 items. But we still have a lot of also other in between stuff as well. Yeah, we got a lot of work to do still, but we are getting there very slowly. I guess I didn't need to delete them trees. Well, I didn't exactly know where this was going to go anyway, so. See, I'm thinking like a Y intersection here. So from that bridge, we Y intersection to go down the hill, right? To go down this hill, but then over there on the flat, it basically Y intersection to go that way to then do the heatsink factory there as well. So yeah, that could be nice. That could be kind of nice. One more bridge maybe. Yeah, we may have to adjust this bridge. These are all temporary technically. I haven't exactly planned out where I'm going to put them yet, but... Okay, we could switch back over to our hover pack here. I really wish they would combine the hover pack and the jetpack, and you just... So basically, you unlock the jetpack early on, and you have the jetpack for a while, but then, when you unlock the hover pack, it just combines the two, and then you just have a keybind that you just swap between modes. So if you randomly lose power, or you make a mistake because you lost power, then you can swap to the jetpack real quick and then get yourself out of danger. Or if you're in a situation where you're using the jetpack and you get close to power, you can just swap, just quick swap over to the thing. Or they need a quick swap system. Or I know that you can quick swap by hitting the key on this for the equipment shortcuts, or you can drag it over and stuff like that. But you have to open your inventory for that, and there's going to be a lot of situations where it's just not useful, and I don't ever use it as far as I'm concerned. It's just not useful to have that particular thing going on. Get rid of this damn sulfur. I already got a bunch of sulfur in my inventory. Honestly, I should delete it, but I've got so many inventory slots it doesn't matter. Just keep on going. Yeah, like I said, we might have to adjust the height on that. I think one more will do. I do like the height that it's at now, but I'm gonna definitely have to change it. Yeah, so then from here, what we'll do is we'll... Oh wait, let me pull... Nope. Not blueprint. Can't see! Also need some more snowballs. Ow. What? I missed. Right, snowball o'clock. Let's grab a couple hundred. Yeah, I still got my Fixmas factory working, and people are probably wondering, you know, wait, you got your Fixmas factory still works? It's supposed to not work after Fixmas is over. It's like, yes, this is true. The trees do stop producing, but that you know, that's negated by the fact that I have 25 industrial storage crates full of presents. So I was very smart. If you're doing a Fixmas, if you're doing Fixmas factory and you want the Fixmas factory to work year round, what you do is you put, you know, several industrial storage crates, like 25 for example, and you put them down and have the presents fill that into your factory, right? Or have the trees fill that during the event, and then when the event's over, you've got 25 industrial storage crates full of presents that are going to last you till Fixmas comes back around the next year. So. Yeah, even though it doesn't really matter, obviously the Fixmas factory has no point in working. That is not part of the event, obviously. I still like to have it because my snowballs, when I can go around and snowball all of these plants out of existence. Sounds very wrong, but yeah. I can clear up huge swaths of areas with snowballs that don't cost me anything. Because you know, I don't have a munitions factory up and going right now. That munitions factory is going to be one of those do it for the hell of it type of factories, you know? Just do it for fun. Just like the fuel factory that we're going to be making. We're going to be making a fuel factory that's going to be making every single type of fuel except for biofuel. Liquid biofuel takes solid biofuel and water to make. Well, solid biofuel takes biomass, and biomass takes wood and leaves. And wood and leaves cannot be automated fully. I refuse to make a factory that cannot be fully automated. that I have to manually do stuff. So that's the only fuel we're not going to be making. But we'll be making the regular fuel, the turbo fuel, the rocket fuel, and the nitric fuel, or whatever it is. All the different types of fuels. Oh, I don't have rocket fuel unlocked, or the ionized fuel, that's what it was called. Yeah, we're going to be making all that fuel, and all that's also going to be packaged as well, so that's the other reason we have to, that's the other reason we have to have the addition onto the aluminum factory, so we can make, I want to make extra aluminum ingots, so that we can send those extra aluminum ingots, that should do, to the a packaging facility that can make, or to our packaging facility that can make packages. So basically what we're going to be doing is, you know how we have the package factory, the empty package factory that makes regular packages. I think you should have to make barrels too, like barrels, and if you want to package water, you have to make water bottles. I think that would be, that could increase a little bit, you know, could increase some things. I think that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, because a barrel factory needs aluminum to make. It doesn't use plastic. I mean, if you've got plastic oil barrels, sure, but you know the drums that are on this game, at least visually, they are definitely aluminum barrels. At least they look like it. I think it's here. Yeah. I go every two bridge pieces. So we'll go up to this point. Now that my control key is fixed. Yeah, my control key works great, so pretty damn good. But anyway, let me get this intersection built, and we can move on from there. Alrighty, so now we finally have our intersection here, as well as our slope. This is a bit taller than it was a bit ago. It was about 6 meters taller, but it does work out great for the intersection. So we got the intersection here, which you know, works pretty well. We did the old foundation trick, so now we've got a nice little curve with a nice little wall. It looks pretty nice. So yeah, I've kind of made the executive decision that up here is going to be the heatsink factory. And also there's quartz up here, so we could possibly get a quartz mine going as well. With that, of course, we got to go up. We got to go up a bit with our slope, of course. Of course. But yeah, so up here is going to be our heatsink factory, which hopefully can look pretty good. I don't know what I'm going to do with the heatsink factory yet. I don't know how I'm going to make that work and what it's going to look like or anything like that. But we shall see. We shall see. I think we're going to level off here. Well... Uh-oh. Spiders up here are causing issues. Yeah. I do love the new smoke effects too, by the way. Like, that looks so good. Oh, there's another one here. See if I can find it. There you are. Oh, did I hit a spider or did I kill one? Unsure. I had to wait for the smoke to clear first. There's a lot of these here. Eh. They're a little more jittery. Oh, that's the one I hit. Okay. Oh, there's another one somewhere. There you are. Yeah, they were. They were making a mockery of the plants there, making a mess. Alright, go ahead and upload those. And you know, you could have that too, why not? A little bit of grass in the dimensional depot never hurt anyone. Alright. Okay, so yeah, up here will be definitely the heatsink factory. I mean, we could expand it out into the lake. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, the other thing is I also need to kind of keep the lake clear because we could use this as another water collection facility, although I don't think we need it because we don't even use the first one yet, hardly. The first one is being used by the aluminum factory, but that's about it. So, anyway, we're getting to the end of our episode here, so we're getting close to the end of our episode here, so we're probably gonna call it in just a minute. I do want to get some of this cleared out, though. Actually, I don't know. I'm gonna put the factory here in this spot instead. But yeah, this is gonna be our heatsink factory. We're gonna bring copper sheets and aluminum sheets over here, and then down that hill. I think in that area, where in the dedicated server, that's where he built his fused modular frames. We're gonna put our cooling systems factory over here because I've worked with this area before, so I kind of know what I'm doing when it comes to that. Well, I mean, more likely you got experience as well. And then we'll continue. There's a whole bunch of iron here too, so we definitely need to use this as an iron mine. But yeah, we're going to be making our way down this way, taking that curve, going over that little pond, and off into the grasslands from here. I might put a four-way here. I'm not sure yet. I did it on the dedicated server, but I never did anything with it. But the problem was that yeah, the major problem was that there's nowhere for this to really go. So like, we'll see what happens. But I don't think we'll build any more. We won't build any more rail for now. And next week we'll focus on the heatsink factory. So we'll get the heatsink factory built up here, as well as get that mine going for more quartz, because bringing in more quartz crystal if we need to would definitely work. Because there's a couple of quartz nodes over here. To turn on my resources here. Yeah, so we got a normal and a pure. So yeah, that could be quite a few. Yeah, definitely could be quite a few. And then yeah, we'll get our copper sheet factory. Copper sheet factory is not too far. The aluminum sheet factory is actually not too far away either. I completely forgot about that. There is a bypass I need to build. Yeah, there's a bypass that bypasses the Titan Forest, essentially. Well, it's more of a shortcut, but there is a shortcut track that I need to build that I completely forgot about. Let's head over there. Let me get my jetpack. I'm actually I might use the train as a way to get some speed going. Yeah, there's a bypass over here that I need to finish. That goes up into... Maybe we should do that next week. Before we do this heatsink factory. Get that bypass built. There's a train line that needs to get built over to this track piece here. Because, yeah, now that I know where it's at, where this piece of track is, I can then plot a route to build track through this area. Yeah, I don't exactly know where it's at. Let's see if we can get up here. Might have to get some height. Oh, there's some gas plants up here. Or some fart rocks. Gas pillars, whatever you want to call them. Look, the devs call them fart rocks, so that's what I'm going with. Okay, let's see if we can find it. Oh, there's also a slug down there. The slugs I don't really care about because because of those slugs, they keep reappearing. I used to care about the slugs, picking them up, but they keep reappearing after the updates, so I stopped collecting them. Plus, I have hundreds of overclocking cores in my storage. Yeah, let's see if we can find this rail here. So back around this way is the water collect. Oh, jeez, a little laggy. Let's give the game a second. But yes, this is the water collection facility over here. We need to build a rail line from the backside of that water collection facility over this way. And then we're going to have a T-junction in here, which is then going to take us that way through that forest. So I actually do have... I need to find it. It's probably over here, actually. Yeah, ran out of fuel. Where am I at? There we go. Oh yeah, there's also a sulfur node here, which is... is this a good sulfur node? I think it's pure, isn't it? No, it's normal. Okay, well, it's still a decent sulfur node. There's my train line. I knew it was over here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. So I was in the middle of building this bridge, but I never got anywhere with it. Yeah, this needs to connect over there to the back of the water collection facility over there. So from here to there, and then a T-junction that goes from here, goes up into the red forest, or up into the bamboo forest. See, there's the backside of the aluminum factory up there, as well. I'm not gonna make that. Yeah, it goes up into that area. So we're gonna have a T-junction here that connects to the backside of that. This gives the aluminum sheets and casing, the aluminum sheets and casing strains. That gives them a shortcut to this main line. So we're gonna have a main line that actually runs through this area, and then we need a shortcut or where the train ends up here. We might have to either spiral it up or slope it up, depending on. You can see there's the stripes of the towers through that little hole there. The stripes of the tower of the nitrogen gas. So yeah, running a train line through this area is going to be pretty interesting as well, because we do need a train line that connects up to the bamboo forest up here. Let's see if we can make our way up this way. I need to make myself some rocket fuel, packaged rocket fuel. Yeah, even though I cleared out that crashed wreck right there, and I cleared out all the uranium, it's all back again. So it's just like, yeah, I'm tired of cleaning up the mess, and then the developers remake the mess, and it's just like, damn it. Yeah, here's the back side of the aluminum factory, up in here, which I did put a T-junction here. Because this is also a main line. I did put a T-junction here, so that'll give... If we can connect that from here down to that track, and then have a track going out to... spidering out to this... out to our nitrogen gas tower. That's pretty crazy how tall we are. I mean, that is the top of the nitrogen gas tower right there. That is the very tippy top of that. That is freaking hilarious. But if we can somehow connect that through that area, then we can absolutely have a shortcut. Look at that, there's the train line right there. We can have a shortcut down to that curve right there from this area. So this spirals down there, down to that flat land down there. And then from there, we follow this through here. Oops. And go up that way. Heck yeah. Okay, well, we've got a route plotted. Very, very nice. I might put some markers down for it. But anyway, we are out of time for our episode, so we're going to go ahead and leave it here. So next week, we are going to be focusing on this area instead of the heat sinks for right now, because we need to finish this rail network in order for it to work decently. Otherwise, the aluminum sheets... Oh my gosh, the aluminum sheets have to go all the way down here they have to go all the way this way. Yeah, all the way down there, and then they have to go this way and make their way through this way, and then they can go this way, and then up this way, or sorry, that way, and then they go this way to make their, so they have to all the way through there. But they have to pass by the rod factory, they have to pass by the making their way past the quartz crystal factory, past the copper sheets factory, all the way here just for aluminum sheets. But we can make a shortcut that goes this way, spirals right here, connects to the train line coming from this direction, and then just straight on in to our other rail line. Perfect. But yeah, like I said, that is since it is Friday, hopefully, like I said, hopefully y'all have yourselves a great week with this weekend. I hope to see you back here on Monday. And also, I do hope you enjoyed. Oh, and before you go, I would like to give a huge shout out and thank you to all of the investors you can see here. Seriously, thank you. You guys are awesome. It is much appreciated. And until next time, I guess it's a goodbye.